kick off postseason basketball this week. Here we go. George Mason in the white. They earned the right to host this first-round game. Liberty in those road Navy uniforms. And so away we go. NIT is underway. This is Nick Ellington underneath. He's one of the bigs in the middle for George Mason. As you mentioned, they've got some size and perhaps a height, length, physicality advantage today. Instead, Corey Mincy fires that first three offline, and Colin Porter's going to push here for Liberty.
More importantly, Porter gets the rebound. The guards have got the rebound, help this front line out for the Liberty Flame. Giving up a lot of size and a lot of physicality there, and that's been Achilles' heel of this team, playing against physical lineups.
So this is Richie McKay's starting five. We mentioned how versatile and valuable Cleveland is. Keep an eye out for number 4 in the Navy. That's Brett Decker. Their leading scorer, he averages 17 a game. Good sleight of hand that time by Ellington. And so this is how Tony Skinn counters. This is his starting five. Mincy does lead the way. It's been the big man here, the 6'11", 5-man Riley Allenspach, who has led them in scoring and league play, misses that jump hook.
At that time, I thought has his size. He needs to turn and elevate over the smaller defenders inside. Don't play so much with his back to the basket.
Harper that time dishes it off to Cleveland, and he's got the first points of the night.
Key to the game, I think, for George Mason is, can they contain the dribble? They know they have to guard the three-point line, but in order to do that, you've got to contain the basketball, keep the ball out of the paint, stay in front of your man in the basket. If you do that, you can close out and stay home on a lot of these shooters.
Meanwhile, the forte for this George Mason team, they've got some drivers, they got some guys that can attack the rim. They've got a good free throw rate, get there frequently. Mincy now 0 of 2 from distance. Cleveland clears it. This is Porter on the move. And you said it, this is a jump shooting team. Look at Cleveland on the attack, missed the finger roll.
Right now, Liberty's playing the game the way they want to play it. On the other end, Mincy settled for a couple of jump shots. Mason wants to get to the foul line.
Allenspach misses it at the rim. They do a good job of that, drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line. You talked about the prowess of this Liberty team. Top 20 in the nation in three-point makes and percentage. Cleveland, a baseline cut.
Adjustment's going to have to be made on the ball screens. I expect to see George Mason switching a lot. Cleveland is an outstanding passer. Remember, he leads his team in assists. So if you help from that bottom weak side guy, he's cutting. It's going to be 2-on-1, and they're going to bunch of layups. They're already best coaches in college basketball. He's just found a place that he loves home. If I was an AD, I'd make him tell me no every time I was looking for a coach. I think he's that good.
Allenspach.
Use some of their own medicine. Cut from the weak side, but they have positional size with Long as a 6'5" point guard.
So Allenspach, who averaged 15 a game in conference play, that actually led the team, has got the three-point play. Randolph, it feels like this should be a competitive, compelling game to kick off this tournament. You had two teams with similar numbers. They had similarly successful years. This should be competitive. Baseline drive, kick it back out. This is Porter for 3.
And as I said about switching, that's the problem with switching. Now Allenspach's got to sit down and guard Porter. He gets beat off the dribble and forced rotation. Now you do that, you're chasing.
Underneath, Dola Adebayo just checked into the game, lost it, and he draws the fine 3-year run as the boss at a place where he won a lot as a player.
Kevin, I was a fan of his before meeting him today. I'm a bigger fan now. I think he's a rising star. He's doing a great job here with a team that's not a ton of resources, and he's maximizing every opportunity he gets.
Savvy young coach. So that triple from Mincy makes it a 2-point game. Decker on the drive. He draws the foul. And this sophomore from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, gets to the free throw line. What a year it was for the sophomore.
Has a big decision to make here coming up. I can't imagine a team in the country that couldn't use a young man like Brett Decker. You're talking about 16 a game, but his split is 50, 48, and 83. And you look at that and you think a guy hadn't taken a lot of shots. He's made 111 threes. Yeah, it's over 3.5 a game. I mean, he's just lights out shooter. And I think everybody wants to have a player like that on their team. And we talked to Coach McKay today, and he's like, hey, I help him navigate the situation if he asks for my help.
He's got such great upside, terrific jump shooter. That foul was on Mincy. So a couple of fouls back-to-back on the Patriots. Porter on the pull-up, left that short.
Mincy's going to stay in attack mode. Every time he touches it, he's putting his head down, looking to make something happen.
This is Allenspach trying to stretch it offline on that triple. So Liberty, 3 out of 5 from the floor. They are a very rhythmic offense. Their forte has been what they have done on the offensive end this year. This is Decker, got it back. His 3 is good.
Can't lose concentration against Decker. Cleveland's with the basketball. He's always looking to find guys. He plays kind of that Draymond Green role for the Golden State Warriors, where in the half court, he is the point guard. Guards are looking to score.
Terrific defensive play by J.J. Harper. He blocks the Mincy shot. Liberty up 5 with a bit of a bounce in the early minutes. Decker trying to take his man off the bounce. He's got it here. Fires, missed it. And Mason clears it.
Too much space allowed to Decker. You've got to lock and trail on him. If you're not close enough to touch him, he's open in his eyes.
Postseason basketball outside of our nation's capital. This is Long on the drive. Jahari Long.
I think Jahari Long at 6'5" has the size advantage over any guard that the Flames put on him. I expect him to use his body, get in the lane, and finish like that, or force rotation to get easy opportunities for his teammates. This is a big opportunity for him to kind of take control of this game.
We'll see a lot of him. Worth noting, Mason playing without one of their very reliable ball handlers and guards. Jamari Hill missing a 4th straight game with that ankle injury. So Mason a bit shorthanded in the backcourt. Cleveland a crossover. Bounce it. Smith lost it. And so we're going to come back the other way. Lead feed, Allenspach, yeah, at the rim.
When you're switching sometimes at the top of the key, Allenspach was guarding one of the guards. When the shot went up, he just sprinted to the rim.
We played 6.5 minutes without a whistle, by the way, under this 16-minute mark, so they continue to play on, and Decker banks that one in. So that's 5 points for Decker.
Part of that, Kevin, is both of these teams have taken a step back on the defensive end of the floor. Much to their coaches.
Yeah. That's not something either coach particularly is comfortable with.
Not
They've
what they built their programs on. These guys love to get after the defensive end of the floor. We'll get into that, some of the numbers a little later here, but right now this game's being paid like a pickup game pace.
Yeah. This is Porter, throws that one up, still free. Who wants it? Liberty had it for a moment.
Right now, and Tony Skinner's had enough of that. He's burned the timeout and see if he can settle his group down. They've got to pick the intensity up, be a lot more physical at the point of attack on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah, that's impressive. You see at the bottom, they have assisted on 7 of their 8 makes. That is an incredible rate. Masai Troutman, one of the senior starters, connects in the lane. So meanwhile, Mason, 33% shooting from the floor. Plus they have missed all their attempts from deep. They are not quite as prolific as a jump shooting team as Liberty. This is Harper on the interior, falls, fades, missed it short.
This is where they need to be more aggressive. Get more downhill in transition.
And that has been a strength of this team. Long misfires. So Randolph, they're now 0 of 5 from distance.
You need to take open threes when they're there and when they're open in the flow of the offense. There's no need to force it. Again, the length that they have, this is a bigger, more athletic team.
So while we have a quick moment, let's remind you that for a 6th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. Go to NCAA.com for more information. The first 4 on the women's side, that begins tomorrow. First, second round action begins Friday. March Madness, postseason ball, it's here.
It is definitely here.
It's good to kick things off here in Fairfax. You got 32 teams here in this NIT that want to make their own postseason run. That is Harper underneath.
You got to know if you're George Mason, you turn your head, someone's cutting. You get too aggressive, they're cutting. Stay between your basket, ball and basket, the key.
The Flames, they have had the upper hand in the early.
They're playing.
They got off to the 21-3 start to begin the year, George Mason did. Dealt with some injuries to key players down the stretch of the season. Wound up finishing 2-6, and then got bumped out in their first game of the A-10 tournament in Pittsburgh last week. This is Cleveland to the basket. That one might have been tipped. After the miss, Long has it. He has been their reliable, steady point guard.
Yeah, this team would be in a world of hurt without him. He's just been Tony Skin's captain, #1 seed there for a team that probably had the toughest schedule in all of college basketball last year. The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn, one of just the 4 power conference teams in this tournament. You know, you mentioned it earlier tonight. You've got a couple of teams here in George Mason, finished top 5 in the Atlantic 10, and Liberty that won the regular season championship in Conference USA. You know, these are rosters that want to be here. They want to keep playing. They want to keep advancing.
Right.
3 wins gets you to Indianapolis. A 4th and a 5th gets you a championship. You get to close out. For a lot of these guys, this is their last run.
It is. It's the last time they'll play in a competitive game.
And you see those numbers. He leads this team in just about every single statistical category. And he is very, very worthy of winning Conference USA's Player of the Year honor. He's got his team up 10 here inside this building.
But again, as I talked about, this team is 10-2 on the road now. This is a veteran group. They're experienced.
Just going to say, do you attribute that to just the experience of this group? This is Cleveland again. You know, he's drawn a couple. This is his 13th total year as the boss in Lynchburg between the 2 stints. Tony Bennett's associate head coach at Virginia.
2 great coaches, and again, recently retired Tony Bennett. Those 2 guys were together. They did some great things, and Richie McKay is here, and again, one of the best coaches in all of college athletics. And like I told you before, he's a guy that he's here because he just loves the place. Doesn't have any plans of going anywhere else, but again, he would be a guy I'd make him say no every time I was looking for a coach.
Yeah.
His phone would ring.
Highly successful long-time boss. After that Mincy bucket, back to single digits. Or is it? That is a difficult reverse for Xander Carter. The freshman has got 4 off the bench in this first half.
Defensively, George Mason is just not there right now here early in this game. You're so spread out because you're worried about them shooting, but they're not staying in front of the basketball. They're not protecting the rim right now, and if you do, you're going to get embarrassed.
And if anything, Liberty, they've been more effective in 2-point range or just near the rim in this first half. So half their points in the paint. They've also hit 3 triples. Carter again sealed off his man, and this freshman from Greenup, Kentucky, who averages 3 points a game off the bench, he's got 6 in the first half.
Look at the difference on the defensive end of the floor. Cleveland is looking where he's making Mason run their offense. You got to get the ball out of his hands in the middle of the floor, because now you can dictate a help side.
That's a long 2 that Liberty forces Mincy into taking. Back on the move again. Yeah, Cleveland can initiate the offense. He's a great distributor.
See, he's whipping the ball from one side to the next, so now you're hugging on the weak side, and you're not stopping the basketball.
Decker goes up quick and scores. But everybody making an impact in the first half for the Flames. They've got a 15-point lead. Allenspach missed the 3. It's another one-and-done possession. Liberty on the move.
And right now, they're settling for threes. They're playing this game the way the Flames want to play.
Decker, no. What's got to happen on this end of the floor for George Mason?
Well, first, it's got to start at the defensive end of the floor. They're not playing with any level of physicality. It's too easy inside. Get the ball in the paint, be physical. There are no shot blockers. There's no reason to pump fake. You go up through his nose and you finish.
Conga, second chance. Just nothing falling right now for George Mason.
Until shots start falling, you got to get some, usually on the defensive end of the floor, let's get some stops, let's rebound, maybe some turnovers. Get out in transition. Let's start our offense from our defense. But right now, they're just chasing.
And look at that at the bottom. That is a stark contrast in field goal percentage. Porter, a step back. That was a difficult one. Good contest from Conga. Cleveland nearly tapped it back in. This is Corey Mincy again.
There was a size advantage inside. Mincy missed it.
Allenspach, whip it back out. Long, hits a three. Their first of the night.
And it came from the ball being in the post. And Allenspach had an advantage. Spotted Long on the weak side, wide open before the double team came and knocked down that first three. I think that's the way they got to start knocking shots down. Get in the post. True indeed, but I tell you what, if George Mason doesn't get any stops, as you can see now, they're trying to go 1-3-1 just to disrupt this rhythm. I think they got to get Cleveland out of the middle of the paint. I mean, it's the middle of the lane. He's in that slot, and it's hard to decide whether it's weak side or strong side.
So that time, George Mason does force the miss. They get the stop. The key is, can they get a few here?
Yeah, first time they kept the basketball out of the middle of the floor. And a 1-3-1 helps you with that. Let's see if he goes back to it.
Yeah, that was an important tactical move. Long dials up the triple. And that one was offline. They get a second look.
If you're going to take shots like that, you've got to get it on the offensive glass. I think they got to pound the glass as well.
Mincy dropping inside. Conga turns. Well, he has missed a couple close range. And they're good looks. Conga can't convert.
Yeah, you keep plugging away. You keep your head up and you defend. Those shots will start to fall. You've missed 3 or 4 of those shots already here in the first half.
It's the only way George Mason can get back in it. Boy, Conga is guarding Cleveland. Kick it back out. Yates for 3, offline. New 20 though. Carter secured the offensive board.
Now
Cleveland.
They're in cross matchups again.
A rare miss at the rim for Zach Cleveland. So George Mason with a couple of consecutive stops that time. Long chiseling in. Underneath, goes up with the left, finishes.
Kevin, he is a 6'5" point guard. Whenever he gets to that spot, I think he can Barkley put the guards of Liberty on his hip and get in the paint whenever he wants.
He's got good positional size at 6'5". So back to a 10-point game. 1:05 to play in this first half. There's a steal. Mincy read that pass. He's pushing. Mincy into the paint. Corey Mincy goes up. No whistle. Allenspach fighting. Knocked away. And we got a whistle. So coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, it continues on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For tournament game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. The madness is here. And the first game of our postseason college hoops right here in Fairfax. NIT is underway. Women's championship gets started tomorrow. Bracket time, 50 seconds to go. It's back to an 8-point game after Allenspach's free throws. Liberty, meanwhile, has not scored in 4 minutes. So their first drought of the evening. Look who's open. Decker lines it up. Decker missed. You got a couple of Navy jerseys crashing hard, and Smith puts it back in.
Again, they're hurting you on the glass because you're so spread out, you're chasing, and again, you got to make Cleveland a scorer. When he drives in there, make him finish. He is looking to kick it out to these shooters.
And Mason has got to address that in the locker. Liberty is one of the worst rebounding teams in the nation, and they've actually controlled the glass. They're +3 on boards. Long inside, floats it up, missed it. Got 2 seconds. Cleveland gonna let it fly. 60 feet. That one looked awful.
Yes.
And yet the way he plays, he can still take over and dictate how games unfold. And so you look at some of these first half numbers. Here he is. He's an initiator.
Kevin, I think it's a teaching tape of how you tell guys, hey, you want to impact winning without scoring. This is the guy you watch.
Now that said, he's got to the free throw line a whole bunch. Most of his points at the line. This is Porter for 3. Hit one of the early triples right out of the chute to begin the game. After that one was deflected out of bounds, Liberty's going to get a new 20.
And that's a rebound George Mason has to have. You switch, you got Allenspach out guarding the three-point line, and then you don't get the the defensive rebound. Finish possession.
Liberty, the Conference USA regular season champs, coming into this thing with a lot of momentum. That 3 is good. Josh Smith buries the corner J.
It's just a vision again. I mean, great drive, help was there. These guys know, keep your spacing. They're disciplined in their spacing. So Mason, you've got to contain the basketball.
Wow, here. A mistake. It leads to the Harper slam. Just like that, 5-0 right out of the gate.
Tony Skinn isn't very happy with his group. You're talking about turnover, 3 guys never cross half court. This isn't a Tony Skinn type of team. I mean, they fight, they claw, they're physical. They're anything but that so far in the first 22 minutes of this game.
On that sideline, he's a little angsty, a little antsy right now. Mitzi, drive it, kick it, long, hits the 3.
They would be in a world of hurt without him.
He's got 10 now on 4 of 9 shooting. Long's got the only 2 threes for Mason tonight. Decker lines one up, missed it. Long splits a pair into the paint, and it rolls through. A dramatic bucket. But Jahari Long now with 12, right at his season average.
You can see he's playing with the level of desperation, like, hey, I want to continue to play. I don't want my season to end here.
And George Mason as a team is going to have to embody a whole lot of that, playing from behind for the entirety of this game. Porter with a crossover right into the paint. He's got the bigger Conga on him. Boy, he is overwhelmed by Conga. 2 to shoot. Porter, does he recognize? Porter front rimmed it. That was on target, but just a little short.
Even that play, I think Conga's got to try to deny the basketball to him.
Long gets fouled. Second foul on Conga, and Smith completes the 3-point play. So McKay has gotten great contributions from Smith and Carter off the bench. Carter's got 10 points. That layup is a good answer. That's Long. Gets it back to a 9-point game.
He's going to have his way. Again, he can create for himself and everyone else. And his ability to create off the bounce right now with the lane spread open is favoring George Mason right now on the offensive end of the floor. It's the only offense they have.
Decker swings into the paint. Blocked. That was Conga. Smith cleaned it up. It's a dozen for the 6th-year senior from Monrovia, Indiana. It's well above his season average. And this is Long again. Just put it in his hands. Feeds to Conga.
Get back in control of this game.
And that had to have been addressed in the locker room halftime. This is Decker getting free. Cutting inside. Decker floats it in.
Just showing you he's just much more than a catch and shoot guy. He's comfortable putting it on the deck.
Long skin. This is someone who is 1 season removed from an ACL tear.
He's had 2 in his career.
Gets 1 out of 2. And his coaching staff, they really are, they laud and rave what Long has been able to accomplish this year, just based on the usage and the volume and what they have been asking him to do. Cleveland kick it to the corner. Smith lines it up. Smith knocks in a 3.
Got to guard a man and a half right now. You got to be in constant rotation. Because when they switch, they get beat off the bounce, and when they rotate, somebody's got to help the helper.
Liberty continues to shoot better than 50% from the floor. You know, on the year, they're 4th in the nation in field goal and three-point percentage. Just elite numbers. Long answers. Boy, he is dialed in, just pouring it in this second half. 13 of his 20 coming in the first 7 minutes of this second. That pass was kicked. Shot clock resets to 20. Boy, where would they be without what Long has done? They're down 8 even still. Pardon me, that's now 23 for Jahari Long.
Where's the other offense going to come from?
Yep.
Will Mincy get going? Will Allenspach get going?
Well, you can't be a step slow on Decker. Missed it at the rim. Smith, who's playing a terrific game, had it for a moment before it was jarred free. This is Mincy, lost it. And so Liberty serves up a poke away. Who's cutting? Porter has it and now starts to initiate. Porter, a drive underneath. Gets it back. He can hit it. The three is pure.
Problem they've had all game long. Just inability to stop the basketball. They're down in the ball screen, try to put it, the ice, try to pin it on one side of the floor. That's on Allenspach. You got to stop the basketball. You can't let him turn the corner.
Long, a step back. That's a difficult one. And Smith with the rebound. It's now 15 points and 6 boards for Josh Smith off the bench. Only plays 10, 15 minutes a game. Oh, he was trying to rip the rim down. Boy, Porter gave him a chance. He had a clear layup.
Of it in game time, I just thought they may have adjusted the call as when they went to replay. I thought his left hand made a swipe to try to go after him.
George Mason gets one back there. Dump it inside. Allenspach blocked. Allenspach couldn't finish, but Troutman can. Boy, that would have been a brilliant Liberty defensive sequence, by the way. They just couldn't clean up that third look.
Mason looks like they're rushing to finish at the rim. And again, I don't understand why they're rushing. There's no shot blocker there.
Decker, that is a pretty finish. Well, just so quickly how their plays, cuts, and sets develop. So for Brett Decker, their leading scorer, he's got 13.
He's a good player. I mean, he's a good-looking player. Good size, good body. Really efficient.
And Randolph, just a sophomore. He broke out this year totally. That's a foul level.
Yes.
You never know what can happen, and you must be ready to adjust and evolve every offseason, and they've been terrific at doing that.
Well, I think the harder adjustment is for Richie McKay because, again, he has to adjust at it.
Oh, how about Smith?